Even though they're not settlers of any particular land, the Maasai tribe is generally located in northern Tanzania and southern and central Kenya. As the Danish author Karen Blixen said, a Maasai warrior is a fine sight. Those young men have, to the utmost extent, that particular form of intelligence which we call cheek. Daring and wildly fantastical as they seem, they are still unswervingly true to their own nature and to an eminent ideal. This is when she was talking about the warriors that were initiated into the system. First, let's focus on the physical lifestyle of the Maasai tribe. Their population is around 900,000, with between 350 and 450,000 of them living in Kenya, and the rest mostly living in northern Tanzania, though none of the settlement is permanent. The language that is mainly spoken is the Maasai language. The name Maasai actually means those who speak the Maas. As the dominant language in East Africa, most are also required to speak Swahili. Because of their nomadic nature, they are semi-nomadic, which means that they move around with their cattle, looking for fertile land and water so that they never settle anywhere. They mostly live a pastoral lifestyle, so that requires them to move around in order to look for new land for their cattle to graze. Because they move around so often, they make their house in a very simple manner using sticks, mud, and cow dung to make a dome-shaped house in the hot weather of East Africa.
In southern Kenya, very close to Amboseli and on the border with Tanzania, live the Maasai. The Maasai love and take care of their cattle. From them, they obtain everything they need: blood, milk, and manure. They have been here for almost 400 years, but with the creation of the Amboseli National Park, the government resettled them in the surrounding area. The Maasai are above all a warrior and cattle-rearing people. In the Imanyat, or village, it is forbidden to eat meat. Only the warriors, called Moran, the defenders of the village, eat it on rare occasions. They don't eat meat, but they do drink the blood of their animals mixed with milk like the samburu. The blood provides them with an extra ration of proteins and vitamins. This animal doesn't appear to be very convinced. They stick a little arrow in it, the blood immediately flows, and they collect it in a gourd with milk. The wound is almost immediately staunched. And now, to your health.
The second thing we're going to focus on is the subsistence lifestyle. What does the diet of the Maasai people look like? Outside of plants that grow in the wild, the three main sources that the Maasai eat are blood, meat, and on rare special occasions or circumstances, meat. Their method of diet is known as pastoralism, which is how, in order to make the most use out of the animals that they herd, they travel from place to place looking for a grazing area and not eating the meat as much as it helps them feed a fairly large tribe. During special circumstances like holidays or warrior initiations, those with status, like those who govern, would then be able to eat meat as a means of celebration of those occasions. To dive deeper, let's look at the cultural lifestyle of the Maasai people and focus on things like marriage, family, and how society is constructed. On the personal family side, let's start with marriage. In most traditional Maasai tribes, a partner is chosen at a very early stage by the parents and elders. Another option to an arranged marriage is when a man reaches warrior status, he makes his intentions known for a girl from the tribe, therefore showing that he wants to get married to her. Another dynamic is, as most African tribes go, lineage and authority is based on the patriarchal system. So governance and tracing your families and descendants goes through your father's side. Also, polygyny is a practice that is slowly stopping, but it is still a practice that a man takes multiple wives so that they can divide the work up between them, thus making it easier to live in a pastoralist lifestyle. Other cultural practices are the importance of warriors. So when boys reach the age of puberty, they get circumcised and then become warriors. 5 years later, they are allowed to get married. Then, after getting married, the eldest from the tribe are those who rule. The strongest amongst the age group of warriors who stand out are then chosen to lead the tribe by forming a council. When they die, the next group of ages takes over, and then so on. Funerals are a very important system in the Maasai. Although this is changing in the modern times, young people with no status and women are wrapped in animal skin and thrown into the forest once they die. But warriors of the highest status and those who govern are buried on a shallow grave, and they get grass and milk on top of their grave as a show of blessings and to bless them after they die. Lastly, let's focus on the religious lifestyles of the Maasai. What are some of the core beliefs, and how does the dominance of Christianity in Kenya affect their lifestyle? The religious practice of the Maasai can be classified as animism. The origin story of their upcoming is that Enkai, the supreme god, sent the Maasai people to earth to live. And then as a blessing, he sent them the sacred cattle on a stair made of cow skin from heaven, as to show their favoritism. Thus, cattle and nature in general are regarded in the highest of regard, hence which is why meat is to only be eaten in rare occasions. Even though animals themselves aren't worshipped, their high regards for them coincides with the fact that they are important to the survival of the Maasai people. Due to the dominance of Christianity in Kenya and Tanzania after the modern imperialism by Britain, Christianity influenced certain traditions that were customary to the way of living, even if they were accepted Christianity itself. Modernization within the Maasai helped within the expansion in women's rights, the reduction of FGM, and more accessibility to schools through the helps of missionaries. Modernization within the Maasai helped with the expansions of women's rights, the reductions of FGM, and gave more accessibility to schools through the helps of missionaries. However, modernity was not successful in changing the way of life when it comes to the nomadic traditions. And that, in a nutshell, is a small look into the lives of the Maasai tribe of Kenya. Thank you for listening.